What's up, guys? Today we are going to work on the EastCoastCar, putting the 2F Performance body kit on, the TRD side skirts, and get that thing dialed and one step closer to being track ready. But there have been a decent amount of updates to the house, so I want to walk you guys through some of that stuff. We got the big ditch filled in that had all the all the three-phase pipe coming through. So that's all covered up finally. And it comes to the side of the garage right here. This is the meter panel, and that is actually hooked up right now. Let's walk inside the garage. The boys have been jamming, and we got the breaker panel set up, or they got the breaker panel set up. So, oh, there we go. So, it took a while because this panel was actually on back order. It took like 2.5-3 weeks just to get the panel. So the guys hooked it up. There's this massive wire. They got like 10 feet of it. It costs like 12 or I don't know, $1,100 or something. And that's all behind the panel here, all hooked up, all three phases. And now the town inspector can finally come by. They can inspect the panel. And as long as we get the sign off, I can call the power company. They can come pull the wire through the tube out to the pole, hook the meter up, and then we actually have power to the box. And then we can finally start hooking up the machines in here, which I've been dying to do. So we are pretty close to getting this place fully operational, which I'm stoked on. And then I got a couple updates. Snap-on has been very generous in helping me fill this box with a bunch of sweet tools. New wrench set, my first ever set of standard wrenches. Pretty wild. I don't know how I've gone this long, but it's always been Japanese cars for me for the most part. Two really nice torque wrenches. I needed those big time, and an inch-pound torque wrench too, so stoked on having all of that. The hammer drawer, boom. So massive thanks to Snap-on. And the purple grew on me. I did get the black trim, but the purple has really grown on me. Even though it's going to be clashing with my favorite color, which is red, it's going to be all right. So I just got this welding table from like an old mill building here in the Northeast. Probably had like 40 years worth of rust and dust on it. And as soon as I kind of paid too much for it, I think. As soon as I brought it back here and started kind of knocking the rust down, this table's so hammered with just pits and big dings and stuff in it. So maybe in the future I will I'll get a new top just to throw on this thing, but right now it'll be perfectly fine. New Snap-on vise on here. This thing weighs like 100 pounds. I think a 8-inch jaw. Yeah, I think that's 8-inch jaw. So finally got a welding/working table. And then the Snap-on MIG welder showed up, which is actually set up for aluminum right now. So we have waiting on the steel stuff to show up, and I can get this thing set up. And then a couple other necessities like a hydraulic press, engine crane, and we are pretty much ready to go. I mean, I have almost every single thing I need, besides obviously the power to hook everything up. So really starting to get acquainted with the garage and starting to find everything's place, which is nice, and being able to jam on the EastCoastCars help with that. So let's get into this thing. Right now, I got one panel on already. So this is the 2F Performance fiberglass over fender, which is a 50mm wider fender. And it fits really, really nice. I was very impressed with how well this thing fits. These are the rotiform wheels, ZMO-Ms from the 4586, which is out there. So these are obviously just temporary for now, but TRD side skirts will be going on to help dress it up a little bit more. We have the 2F Performance deck trunk lid, brand new factory bumper, some new tail lights. We got the Clecos and some holes drilled on this side, so we'll get that all dialed in. And then we'll move on to kind of mounting the deck lid, the rear bumper, fix those things on there permanently. And then we'll start drilling some holes once the deck lid is on, so we have some venting for the radiator. One thing I'm actually super disappointed about is I bought a kit for this car. It's called the Rallybacker version 2 kit. A little bit hot boy, but I thought it looked really dope. And you run the car super low. So when I mounted the fenders on the car, I realized that I could not get the car low enough for the kit to work. So the over fender was still up like this high off the tire, and it was sitting at this ride height right now, and it was still up like this high. So I still had like 3.5 inches to go before it even reached the tire on the fender. And I had 1 inch to go from the upper control arm on the WiseFab before it hit the frame rail in the back. So I don't know how those kits work, but it ain't gonna work with this car. I think one of the main reasons is because of the WiseFab drop knuckle and the WiseFab upper control arm. So it doesn't have a ton of clearance, and then the drop knuckle allows, already lowers the car. So that kit is out for now. I'm gonna shelf it, but the kit is sweet, and I do want to run it in the future. I just got to figure out how to make it work. So right now, we're just going to dial in the 2F performance stuff and TRD side skirts, get a wrap on this thing, get the new BC Racing shocks on here, align it, get it tuned by John Reed, and then hit the track, baby. Side skirt time, boys. So this comes with its own kit, and since it's from TRD, it's done really nice. You have your 3M sticky on here. I don't know if we're going to be able to use this right at the moment, but... Side skirts on, 2F performance rear over fenders on. Now we got to do the deck lid. Let's keep working. I got those plates bolted to the bottom of the over fender, and now I'm gonna make a brace, just a piece of rod, mild steel, I think it's 065. That's just gonna weld to the top of here, so it gives it some structure support, so this thing isn't vibrating and bouncing around so much. And then I'll drill another hole through the deck lid, and that will secure that on there. No hinges, just stuck on there by 2 latches, and I think that'll hold it. We'll see when we get it on there if it's enough, but I think it'll be good. Got the deck lid on. So these quick latches are the first time I've used these. These are pretty sweet. You just push them to take them on and off, which is rad. And I still have to cut vents in the back here, and we'll be good with that. Bumpers on. I made some sweet bumper stays on the bottom here so that this thing doesn't like flap out. I still gotta figure out something up here, but for now that's how it is. VP Fuel just showed up. Yeah, baby. All right, so we got 2 barrels of VP 110. Boom. We got some fuel for the chainsaw, and then we got some MS 109, and this is a unleaded 109 octane oxygenated race fuel, and this is actually what we run in the Ferrari car, which will soon be getting some work. I've been stealing parts off this thing for this car in here, but not too much. Don't worry about it. We don't have a hood, so that's why I have to put this tattered tarp on here. Typical New England weather, it rains every other day. But this thing is up next. After we finish dialing the EastCoastCar in, this baby's next, and we're gonna be filming a video here in New Hampshire in the driveway with the Ferrari car come late July, early July, mid-July. All right, here's the part where I'm terrible. Making plates, anything custom that requires metalworking skill set. So I already messed up once and forgot to make a template and totally went straight at it. Well, that didn't work out. So we're back to making a template. All right, so we're gonna go straight on. This is one of the cool tricks I wanted to This is one of the cool tricks I wanted to show you guys that I learned from Dom. And you might already know it, but you just rub the Sharpie on here. Perfect line scribed in here. So there's no tracing. Boom. Now I can trim those out, and that's our perfect template. Alright, template's about done, boys. We'll decide to go the straight line, so I kind of just based it off the hood line on the edge. I think it's gonna look good. Could probably look better, but this is as far as I'm gonna get. So we'll trace this thing out on the piece of aluminum, cut it all out, clean it up, and riv nut this baby on here. Sorry guys, I didn't film much of this, but it's probably about 2 hours later, and the plate is done. Fits pretty good. I'm like semi-happy with it. I think I could have been a little bit better on these holes, but they're pretty tight. See, it's like a couple little spots, but overall pretty good. I think there was a better way to do this design-wise, but it's on there, it's working, and I will gladly take some advice from everybody. So send it my way. Terrible, but definitely needs less offset. Tail light's working. Stoked, boys.